Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Sometimes I'll touch on military specific issues, and that's what we're doing today. So, before we jump into it, I want to throw on a special thank you to Williams621. Williams621. Thank you so much for the super comment, super chat thing. I really do appreciate your support so very much. And so, jumping into this, the headline, and this just came out earlier this month in March of 2025. This is probably going to air at the very end of March. Which is fine. So here we are. The headline is what troops need to know about the basic pay raise in 2025. This was by Leo Shane on militarytimes.com. And let's jump into it here. Hit the thumbs up for me, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Every thumbs up and every minute watched really does help the channel expand its reach. And, this is going to help those that are either A, in the military, or B, thinking about jumping into the military, whether it's a son, a daughter, granddaughter, grandson, nephews, friends, whatever. So let's jump into it. All right. All military members saw a significant pay raise in January 2025, but some troops will get even more this spring. For example, my son, who is, I think he's been in for coming up on 4 years now. And so this will actually impact him. So Congress approved a massive pay raise for junior enlisted service members in late 2024, which is set to go into effect April. The move will bring paychecks for nearly all troops to more than $30,000 annually. And now, I've always kind of in the back of my mind wondered, okay, well, if they're addressing that insufficient pay on the military side, is there any possibility of that mindset trickling over to veterans benefits? I guess we'll see. All right. Basic pay is determined by a person's rank and length of service, with automatic raises when troops meet in certain time levels and promotion markers. Congress also determines how large of a pay raise all troops should receive each year. The figure is tied by law to the anticipated increase in private sector pay, but lawmakers in the past have approved bigger raises to help with recruitment and retention, or smaller raises to save money for other military priorities. Currently, the most junior enlisted service members make around $24,000 a year in basic pay, not including allowances for special pay or other benefits, while enlisted troops nearing retirement typically earn about $70,000 annually. Officer pay is significantly higher. Junior officers earn close to $40,000 a year, while senior officers nearing 20 years of service can make in excess of $170,000 a year. That means that even a small change in the anticipated pay calculations can make a big difference for military families. The annual military pay increase takes effect January each year. In 2025, the pay raise was 4.5% for all troops, the third consecutive year of across-the-board paycheck boosts of more than 4% for the military. Huge. For an E7 with 10 years military experience or an O2 with 2 years experience, the 4.5% raise means about $200 more each month and roughly $2,600 a year in extra salary. Targeted pay raises. And this is the big piece, right? And so you can't just move one section of pay, because then it starts to bump up against the next level. So you kind of have to move everything in order to move some. So the targeted pay raises in a normal year, that January pay boost is only salary increase troops see, but because of the legislation passed last year, junior enlisted troops ranked E4 and below will see an additional 10% pay increase this spring, giving their paychecks a welcome mid-year raise. The junior enlisted boost is expected to benefit tens of thousands of young troops. These are ranked E2 or those ranked with an E2 with 2 years of service would see their base salary rise from about $27,000 now to about $31,000 a year. Troops ranked E4 with 3 years in the armed forces would see their pay raise from $35,000 a year to more than $40,000 annually, so a $5,000 boost. The White House issued its target for the hike each August, either going along with the projected rise in private sector wages, known as the Employment Cost Index, or offering justification for proposing a different rate. Congress has the final say. In the past, lawmakers have overridden attempts by the White House to submit lower pay raises that would save money for other priorities. But in recent years, the executive and legislative branches have been in sync on the annual pay raise. Congress has not adopted a raise below the ECI calculation since 2015. 2026 pay boost. Since the start of the all-volunteer military force in 1973, Congress has authorized a pay raise of at least 1% for troops every year, even during budget cycles where other civilian wages held steady. Those increases have grown to 2.5% or more since 2018. In 2024, the pay increase, which took effect January 1st of that year, was 5.2%, the largest bump since 2002. And the second biggest boost in 40 years. The 2025 pay raise of 4.5 was not quite as generous, but still means that military pay grew by nearly 10% over the last 2 years. Both those pay boosts match the federal formula based on the annual employment cost index calculation and somewhat offset concerns about covering increased living costs over the last few years. The ECI calculation for 2026 sits at 3.8%. If approved, it would be the lowest pay raise since 2022, which was 2.7%, but would still be higher at that 3.8, right? So, moving on here, the ECI again is kind of the factor, and at the 3.8. If for junior enlisted troops, the proposed 2026 raise would mean an adjustment of about $1,200 more in take-home pay next year. For senior enlisted and junior officers, the raise would add about $2,500 or more. For an E-4 with 12 years service, they would see almost $4,300 more over the 2025 levels. Lawmakers are expected to debate the pay raise level along with the rest of the defense budget over the spring and summer, which is what we're in now, right? It's today, recording this right now, it is March 31st. So we are in the spring, and we'll see what happens. Congress typically fails to approve the federal budget until late in the calendar year, after each fiscal year begins October 1st, but the new pay raise still goes into effect January 1st annually. So, I like to kind of just share everything regarding our military brothers and sisters, as well as obviously stuff for our veteran sphere. So with that, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you so much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.